What the fuck's this stupid ass's name? Oh, Bill Maher. There you go. The fuck was that guy's name again? According to Bill Maher's story, Bill Maher is an aggressive, passive-aggressive, stupid fuck that wanted to fight with Trump. And Trump, being the stoic man that he is, isn't going to fall for your stupid tricks. Bill Maher went in there wanting to get a reaction from Trump. And Trump said, bro, you ain't worth it. Let's just have a conversation. Because Bill Maher, as much of a fucking hater he is, and as much as Bill Maher cannot get away from his leftist ideology, and will always kind of be a Trump hater, I feel like Bill Maher meeting the president could have impacted him for the future. And by the way, even Bill Maher admitted that his own audience hated that he met with President Donald Trump. They hated him. He said, now you're a Maga guy. Now you're this and that. Getting accused of all this bullshit, which of course wasn't the case. Not even according to Bill Maher. I'm like, no, I'm trying. I have the opportunity to speak with the president. And Bill Maher, you know, it's not a short video. He had a lot to say about President Donald Trump. And I'm so amazed that he was shocked because us MAGA supporters knew this about Trump, right? We knew the testimonies of people, and we've seen the videos where he gets out of a rally. He goes down to the fucking fence and he's talking with people. He's having conversations with them. We see this time and time again with Donald Trump. We look at him and say, yeah, that seems like a guy who's not a robot politician, because Barack Obama was definitely that. George Bush was definitely that. They didn't fucking care about the people. They didn't interact with the people. They didn't actually speak to us.
And let me first say that to all the people who treated this like it was some kind of summit meeting, you're ridiculous. Like I was going to sign a treaty or something. I have no power. I'm a fucking comedian, and he's the most powerful leader in the world. I'm not the leader of anything, except maybe a contingent of centrist-minded people who think there's got to be a better way of running this country than hating each other every minute.
Okay. I would not call this guy a centrist leader. Like, here's the thing. This dude has had massively bad takes. And he saw that the Democratic Party, the snake, eats its own tail. And he noticed that a little too late, still hating on Trump, but his own party was eating their own tail. Took him a while to realize that when we were pointing it out for years. I don't trust the guy fully. Just saying.
Thank you. So meet up in person. Maybe it'll be different. Spoiler alert, it was. First good sign, before I left for the Capitol, I had my staff collect and print out this list of almost 60 different insulting epithets that the president has said about me. Things like stupid, dummy, low-life dummy,
100%.
sleazebag, sick, sad,
I agree with all
stone cold crazy. Really a dumb guy, fired like a dog. His show is dead. It's 60. I brought this to the White House because I wanted him to sign it.
And he did.
He did.
Look at that shit. He did. Now, again, I don't fully trust Bill Maher 100%. Don't like the guy still. However, this is a step to a really great direction, though. Because Bill Maher, whether you like it or not, the fucker still has mass influence. And for him to say something as based as and hilarious as bonding with the president of the United States that he has criticized massively on, to the point where you could say that this guy has Trump derangement syndrome, spoke to Trump, is making an effort to actually engage in conversation, especially with the highest order of Trump, right? No, I mean, I would love to have dinner with the president. Like, that would be amazing. That would be amazing, right? And Bill Maher had that. And God bless the guy, and I hope there's some type of impact there. That's true, man. That is fucking facts right there.
Which he did. with good humor. And I know as I say that, millions of liberal sphincters just tightened. Oh my God, Bill, are you going to say something nice about him? What I'm going to do is report exactly what happened. You decide what you think about it. And if that's not enough pure Trump hate for you, I don't give a fuck. So no, I didn't go Maga. And to the president's credit, there was no pressure to. After we left the Oval Office, he showed me the little room off the office, you know, the one where Clinton used to. Okay. The blowjob room. Okay. And he gave me a bunch of hats, but he didn't ask me to take a picture in one, which I appreciated. The guy I met is not the person who the night before the dinner shit tweeted a bunch of nasty crap about how he thought this dinner was a bad idea and what a deranged asshole I was.
Now, to be fair, this is the tweet that Donald Trump put up when he was first given the idea to have dinner with Bill Maher. He put out his thoughts about it, and Trump logically believed that this dinner's probably not going to be going good. You know, Trump said it's probably not going to fucking end up in a good way. He said, I don't really like the idea much. And he told that to Kid Rock. And he said, I'll do it out of a favor for a friend. And Trump did that. He didn't have to fucking do that at all. Donald Trump's very busy man. Obviously, he's running the powerhouse of the world. But the fact that he's always going to put out his fucking thoughts for everybody to know, he's the most transparent president we've ever had in history. He will always tell us and be transparent. And he's willing to have dinner. He's already won the election, so liberals can't say, well, he's just doing this just to get fucking popularity. No, he's already president. And he's still having dinner with these fucking libtards and trying to find some type of common ground. That's something that I think that we as people can appreciate for our president, right? We can appreciate him for that.
I read it and thought, oh, what a lovely way to welcome someone to your house. But when I got there, that guy wasn't living there. Now, does Trump want respect? Of course, who doesn't? My friend said to me, what are you going to wear to the White House? I said, I don't know, but I'm not going to dress like Zelensky, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Let's not do that shit, man. Yeah, I'm kind of liking Maher
Just for starters, he laughs. I'd never seen him laugh in public, but he does, including at himself. And it's not fake. Believe me, as a comedian of 40 years.
And he says, I've never seen him laugh in public. If you ever looked at his Trump rallies, he always has humor. The man is always has a sense of humor, right? You have the Trump of the art of the deal, the ruthless Trump that we need against our rivals, our foreign affairs, people that want to burn down the country. And then you have Trump that has a sense of humor, that knows that, hey, we're all human beings just like he is. This is a common thing that we noticed from 2016 election. We knew this as MAGA supporters. This is mind-blowing to Bill Maher. He didn't know this. He didn't know this. For fucking 10 years, he didn't know this.
I know a fake laugh when I hear it. And I thank you for them. No.
Yeah, libs can't do comedy. That is true. They can't meme either.
In the Oval Office, he was showing me the portraits of presidents, and he pointed to Reagan and said, in all seriousness, you know, the best thing about him, his hair. I said, well, there was also that whole bringing down communism thing, waiting for the button next to the Diet Coke button to get pushed, and I go through the trap door. But no, he laughed, he got it. I said to him at one point, Mr. President, you know the dog, that's unusual in the White House. He said, well, a lot of the presidents, they had a dog for political reasons. I said, no, people love dogs. That's what that is.
Yeah, I love dogs.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's also true.
What happened?
That's also true.
At one point, we were walking through it is an amazing tour of the whole house, 2020 election, because I know he used the word lost. And I distinctly remember saying, wow, I never thought I'd hear you say that. He didn't get mad. He's much more self-aware than he lets on in public. Look, I get it. It doesn't matter who he is at a private dinner with a comedian. It matters who he is on the world stage. I'm just taking as a positive that this person exists, because everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent, at least on this night with this guy. Bob, Kid Rock, told me the night before, he said, if you want to get a word in edgewise, you're going to have to cut him off. He'll just go on. Not at all. I've had so many conversations with prominent people who are much less connected, people who don't look you in the eye, people who don't really listen because they just want to get to their next thing, people whose response to things you say just doesn't track, like, what? None of that with him. And he mostly steered the conversation to, what do you think about this? I know, your mind is blown. So's mine.
Well, my mind's not blown. I saw this guy. I know what the guy is.
There were so many moments when I hit him with a joke or contradicted something, and no problem. At dinner, he was asking me about the nuclear situation in Iran in a very genuine, hey, I think you're a smart guy, I want your opinion sort of way. And I said, well, obviously you're privy to things about it, I'm not, but for what it's worth, I thought the Obama deal was worth letting play out because we made Iran destroy 98% of the uranium, and they were 15 years away from a bomb. And then I said to him, but we got rid of that. You got rid of that. He didn't get mad or call me a left-wing lunatic. He took it in. I told him I thought parts of his plan for Gaza were wacky, but that I had supported him in the idea that Gaza could be Dubai instead of hell. I told him he was wrong when he tweeted the night before that I was critical of all things Trump. Not true. Check the tapes.
Yeah, Judeo-Christian. Yeah, exactly, bro. That was my point with what I was saying here. And I've said this plenty of times in the podcast. As much support that Trump gives to Israel, that's not my claim there. I don't like that at all. Don't like that at all. It's a whole entire subject there. But I do like that he put tariffs on their ass, though. I do like that he put tariffs on Israel as well, that were very high, by the way. And Netanyahu did not like that one fucking bit, by the way. And neither did Ben Shapiro.
Shouldn't be playing women's sports. Europe should pay for their defense. And of course, it makes sense that Arab countries should take in Arab refugees, like the million Syrians who wound up in Germany when Saudi Arabia took none. He said to me, you're right, they took none. I said, well, you should remind your boyfriend in Saudi Arabia that the next time you see him.
Like Bill Maher is trying to instigate some type of emotion reaction to Trump. He's like, okay, that's what it is. Like, here's the thing. Trump's not going in there to debate Bill Maher. He doesn't care about debating Bill Maher. Bill Maher is not a politician. Bill Maher does not see what Trump sees. So he's asking him about his opinion. Bill Maher's a comedian. He's witty. I get that. However, Trump reacts to all of Bill Maher's kind of passive-aggressive insults that are jokingly. And it doesn't even faze Donald Trump. That's essentially what Bill Maher is telling us right now.
He laughed. I never felt I had to walk on eggshells around him. And honestly, I voted for Clinton and Obama, but I would never feel comfortable talking to them the way I was able to talk with Donald Trump.
Listen to that.
That's just how it went down. Make of it what you will. Me?
And I will make it for what I will. I stated earlier, yes, these politicians are robots. Donald Trump is a human. He's not there to debate you. He's not there. It is what he'll ask for your opinion. You have influence, Bill Maher. Perfectly reasonable. He's asking you these things. He's not there to fight you.
I feel it's emblematic of why the Democrats are so unpopular these days. He was even okay when I checked him on the orangutan lawsuit. He was. He said to Dana White, Bill said my father was an orangutan, and I really love my father. And I said, well, Mr. President, I did that because I didn't like what you were doing regarding Obama's birth origins. I thought that was low. Again, no anger, just a little smile as if to say, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
The most surreal part of the whole night was when I got home. I flew back right after the dinner, and I'm in bed watching 60 Minutes from the night before. And there's Trump in one of their stories, standing at a podium in a room that looked to me like one of the rooms and podium places we'd just been in. And he's ranting, disgusting, you're a terrible person. And I'm like, who's that guy? What happened to Glinda the Good Witch?
Glinda the Good Witch, where Barack Obama, he literally stated Barack Obama was a robot. He spoke to actual conversations with Barack Obama, fucking robot. You look at Barack Obama or even any of these politicians on their speeches, it's all fabricated, written speeches from them. There's no real, and look, I'm not saying Trump doesn't have written speeches. He does, but Trump improvises a lot with his speeches. He sounds more human. He sounds human compared to the robot politicians we had in the past, which is why I say Trump, I believe, massively got elected in 2016 because of his relatability. Oh, Jake, he's a billionaire. How do you relate to Donald Trump? Yeah, the fact that Donald Trump's not using they, them pronouns is already, that's a relatability. We have a politician that's not fucking submitting to the woke culture. That's something at least, you know, along with many other things.
And why can't we get the guy I met to be the public guy? And I'm not saying it's our responsibility to do that. It's not. I'm just reporting exactly what I saw over 2.5 hours. I went into the mine, and that's what's down there. A crazy person doesn't live in the White House. A person who plays a crazy person on TV a lot lives there, which I know is fucked up. It's just not as fucked up as I thought it was. And I have no illusions now that I'm back to work at my job, that he might start a new list.
I hope he does. I hope he does start that new list. I really hope he does.
Because I don't have a good feeling and will be critical about a lot of what he's doing. The trade war and disappearing people, ruling by decree, threatening judges, gutting the government with glee.
See, this is why we can't trust the guy.
I have a job to do, or at least he did on this night, because he said to me early on that he'd seen our last episode, which was the Friday before this dinner. And he said, I thought maybe you'd be nice, but you hit me really hard.
That's his conclusion.
Because I'm not going to pull my punches that presidents get to propose a third term for themselves. He understood that, and without animus. That doesn't mean he's not going to try to do it.
Trump 2028, baby. Trump 2028.
At one point, I said to him, you're scaring people. Do you really want to be scaring your own citizens so much? And I know now you're all saying, and what did he say to that? Honestly, I don't remember. But it wasn't, okay, I'll stop. So MAGA fans, don't worry. Your boy gave me nothing. Just hats. Hats and a very generous amount of time and a willingness to listen and accept me as a possible friend, even though I'm not MAGA, which was the point of the dinner. My favorite part of the whole night was we were standing in the blowjob room.
Your boy Bill Clinton that you voted for, yeah.
And he said, you know, I've heard from a lot of people who really like that we're having this dinner. Not all, but a lot. And I said, same. A lot of people told me they loved it, but not all. And we agreed. The people who don't even want us to talk, we don't like you. Don't talk, as opposed to what? Writing the same editorial for the millionth time and making 25-hour speeches into the wind? Really, that's what liberals have? He takes the piss out of everybody else and we can hold ours? Okay, that's my report. You can hate me for it, but I'm not a liar. Trump was gracious and measured, and why he isn't that in other settings, I don't know, and I can't answer, and it's not my place to answer. I'm just telling you what I saw, and I wasn't high.
He does like to smoke weed. He does like to smoke weed. But I'll tell you this. Bill Maher believes himself to be the intellectual superior that he probably believes himself to be.
So MAGA fans, don't worry. Your boy gave me nothing. Just hats. Hats and a very generous amount of time.
What Bill Maher doesn't realize is that because the fact that Bill Maher believes himself to be intellectually superior to Donald Trump is that Trump's not looking to fight with you, Bill Maher. You're a liberal media host that's had horrible takes. He's not there to debate you on suing for an orangutan shit. He said, oh, yeah, kind of was. Yeah, I get you there. Cool. But what's your opinion on this? He's picking your brain, Bill Maher. He's picking your brain like normal people do, right? I've picked the brains of liberals all the time on this show. I've picked the brains of liberals in my private life to get to know what they are all about. I'm not there to debate them. I'm there to get to know them. It's what human beings do. Bill Maher thinks of himself as a W. This screenshot right here of that face of Bill Maher believing that he really took it to Trump. No, my friend, you didn't do anything of that nature. It's just Trump being a human being, and you should too. And he did. However, I would say that I think, according to Bill Maher's story, Bill Maher is an aggressive, passive-aggressive, stupid fuck that wanted to fight with Trump. And Trump, being the stoic man that he is, isn't going to fall for your stupid tricks. Bill Maher went in there wanting to get a reaction from Trump. And Trump said, bro, you ain't worth it. Let's just have a conversation. And Bill Maher believes himself that, hey, your boy, I beat him. He didn't say anything about it. He just agreed. Having a normal conversation.